Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another royal reading. It is Father's Day today. It's Sunday morning as I'm doing this reading. Apologies for not getting around to doing readings yesterday. I was feeling a little bit blah, and when my energy is flat, I don't like doing readings. It feels like I'm trying to force things, and so I took a day off to have a bit of a rest. I'm back very refreshed this morning and eager to get going with this reading. And first of all, before I start, happy Father's Day to all of you, and particularly in my thoughts are those of you who may be struggling today. I know days like this aren't always easy, maybe difficult reminders for some of you about things, and if you are feeling alone, if you are struggling today, thoughts with you and really sending you lots and lots of love. So I am going to do a reading using the New Palladini Tarot. There it is, New Palladini Tarot, looking at two fathers who are also brothers, William and Harry. I'm going to just be doing a compare and contrast reading this morning, this Father's Day, seeing how being fathers has impacted them personally. There have been lots of press pieces on William as a father, because of course he's heading for his 40th birthday on Tuesday. I'll do a reading on that. So how it's impacted them individually, how it's impacted their relationships, how it's going to go for them long term, and whether fatherhood is something that is going to bring the two brothers together or further alienate them. And the reason I say further alienate them, as the Queen of Swords flies out, is that Bookworm 2 has an interesting post on her YouTube channel, and she says that William apparently has put his foot down and is demanding proof of birth data for Archie and Lilibet. He has had enough, according to Bookworm 2, all allegedly. I'll be doing a reading on that. I thought it was going to be all quiet after the Jubilee and that I would struggle to find topics to read on, but it has really lots coming out, lots going on still, and that is going to be one of the topics I'm going to be reading on in the next few days. So there it is. There is my reading, and I will explain the cards as I go along. 8-card reading, New Palladini Tarot, and 8 of Swords has come out as the underlying energy of this reading, which is getting yourself out of a mental prison, out of a trap, out of a situation that you got yourself into. Somebody is going to liberate themselves at some point, find freedom. I don't think it's William. William is on this side, just by the way, and Harry is on this side. And let's have a look. That's the underlying energy. We'll throw that card in the middle there because it seems to be quite significant. A signifier for the energy, for the situation that we are finding ourselves in, the world. And the world is obviously a successful conclusion of a chapter. And if you can hear little sort of mutterings, it's Fluffy having a deep sleep with me as I'm doing this reading. It's very cold this morning. She's curled herself up into a ball and she's fast asleep, but she's snoring a little bit. The world is a successful conclusion of a chapter, of a cycle in life, but it is also very public. And for me, the world, when I do these royal readings, is very much about what people see, public perceptions, what is noted. And I think that we are all using them, looking at them, at William and Harry, as archetypes. And it's fascinating to me that Megan chose, of all topics, to do her podcasts on archetypes, because they really are archetypal. I don't think she is aware of herself as an archetype, and that's why we're also fascinated by her. That is, of course, just my personal opinion and why I read on her as much as I do. But this is archetypal. This is how we model ourselves, what we look at when we may be trying to define our own paths in life. These archetypes influence us, and we have two very distinct archetypes in William and Harry as fathers and the way they conduct themselves. So let us look and see, first of all, for William, how being a father has impacted him personally, what it has made of him. And we get Judgment in reverse. And that's quite interesting, because the word that's coming to my mind is unforgiving. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Judgment normally is a second chance card. People wake up, the trumpet sounds, you wake up, you get judged. You may enter into a second life. And the card is in the reverse. He is much less likely now to be forgiving of things that he would have forgiven in the past. Very, very, very interesting. Bad behavior will not be condoned. He's become much more judgmental. And we see that in the behavior that he's exhibiting at the moment. I say we're dealing with archetypes. He's become much more stern, not with regard to his own children, but possibly even with regard to himself. That he has set a very high standard for himself, and he is not going to deviate from that standard. And if he sets a very high standard for himself, he's going to set a very high standard for the people around him as well. And we've seen that with William. He really has changed quite dramatically. It's a very, very interesting card to come up. And as I say, I don't view it in a negative way. I don't view it as vindictive and resentful and vengeful and all that kind of thing. I just view it as really intolerant of mistakes that other people may be making. Because of course he has now these 3 souls in his care that he didn't have before. Before he had only a lost brother in his care. Now he has other souls who are more innocent in his care. It has made a big difference to him. And I'm sure many of you out there can relate to that change in dynamic. Let us see how it has impacted Harry at an individual level. The 7 of Cups. It's a card of dreams and illusions and possibilities, not seeing things for the way they really are, not seeing the reality, being quite deluded about things when you get the 7 of Cups. For him, this is not real. And I wanted to say at the beginning of this reading that one of them is allegedly a father. And then I thought, no, that's just being too mean for a Sunday morning Father's Day reading. Let's throw the disclaimer in here and point you at the description box below where there is a disclaimer. And let's say, for the record, this is a tarot reading for entertainment purposes, and this is all just my opinion. And there Fluffy has woken up and the bells are ringing. As I say this, 7 of Cups, for him this experience isn't really real. And that is just very interesting, very weird for me as a reader to see that card show up. This is not a real experience. It's a fantasy. It really is a fantasy. It's almost an imaginary situation. Enough said about that, because we read on it eternally, and I'm going to come back to this topic in the next few days. For now, let's see how it's impacted their relationships with their significant others, their wives. For William, how has it impacted his relationship with his wife? And that's quite an interesting card. We're not getting happy, hearty cards in this reading. The Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is having a new perspective on things. While you're hanging there, this is something that it's a big deal. We're getting major arcana that's come out on William's side of the reading. This has been, being a father has been a massive deal for him. And of course, it's a massive deal for anybody who embarks on this journey, whether wittingly or unwittingly. And the Hanged Man it's a card of stasis and limbo and hanging there. And while you're hanging there, having a think about things. It's a thinking card. This has made him very reflective. And it has made him very reflective about his relationship with his wife. He has seen his relationship in a very different way and become enlightened. You can see the light shining around that man's head as he hangs there from that tree, gaining wisdom, gaining insight, gaining enlightenment, gaining patience. It's a card of inaction, but it's not negative inaction. It is inaction because you are thinking and contemplating. For some reason, your hands are tied and you can't necessarily do the things that you would like to do. It has, in some ways, it has clipped his wings with regard to his relationship, his marriage. And of course, parenting does that to any relationship. But it has really made him think and contemplate and see everything in a completely different way. He may indeed, I said significant others, it may have made him see his own parents in a very different way. And that is interesting. How has it impacted Harry's relationship with Meghan? Two of Pentacles in reverse. Not a happy energy. The Two of Pentacles is a decision card. Twos are always about turning points and decisions and partnerships. It's my merging card as well. The Two of Pentacles, look what I have for sale. It's trying to find balance. It's trying to juggle things. It's trying to prioritize. Where do you put your effort, your time, your energy, your money, your thoughts? And the card is in the reverse. So for Harry, this has been an overwhelming experience. He has felt as if something has gone wrong in this relationship. It is out of sync. It is out of balance. It is out of alignment. He's put his time and effort into the wrong things. He's prioritized the wrong things. He's made the wrong choice. Here we have somebody who is now seeing his wife in a whole different light. And here we have someone who is regretting the choice that he made, according to the cards, in my opinion. Regret, overwhelm, difficulty, being out of balance, out of alignment. And so how is it going to go long term for the two brothers? Individually first, for William, Queen of Cups, it's going to be difficult for him emotionally, being a father, because he is going to think endlessly of his own mother. There is the Queen of Cups. It is the Diana card in this reading. She's very busy in this reading, I can feel. I'm not saying that I'm channeling her for 1 second, because I don't do that, but I can feel the thought around her, the emotion around her. It's going to be something that's always on his mind. And I said he gained a new perspective on his own parents. It's something that he's always going to be conscious of as he goes through life, as a parent. He's going to always think about Princess Diana, and he's always going to be quite emotional about it, very emotional about it. He's a Cancerian. Fluffy is having a good old scratch as I'm doing this reading. She's got a lot to say. And anyway, we'll press on. And as the bells toll, for Prince Harry, how is it going to be, this experience long term? The moon in reverse, secrets are going to come out. Oh dear. Oh dear for Prince Harry. There is the moon. The moon is also a mother card, and it's also a Princess Diana card. It's interesting that they both have this energy in their readings. But here we have the shadow side of Princess Diana, and the moon. That's the first thing that's coming off this card. She was a Cancerian. Very emotional. The moon is about your emotions. It's about mothering. But the moon is in reverse. It's going to have a very negative impact on him for many reasons. It's going to... he's going to have, I think, realizations about his own mother that are negative. In that card, he might actually finally see the light about his own mother, see some truths about her that William is already aware of and possibly always was aware of, even as a young teenager growing up with her. The moon in reverse. Harry, it's about clarity after being in shadow, being confused, being in doubt. You finally get clarity when the moon is in reverse. The sun comes out, basically, and sheds light on a situation. He may have a moment of clarity because it's major arcana, but also for Prince Harry, the secrets are going to come out. The secrets that are here in the Seven of Cups are going to come out ultimately. However much the two of them are trying to hide it, now, whatever it is, the truth is going to come out and going to set him free. But it's going to be a very difficult journey because there's a breach of trust. The moon is about trust, doubt, obfuscation. And Prince Harry has been guilty of this, in my opinion, allegedly. All of those things, disclaimer in the box below, but it is all going to be revealed. Is this experience of parenting going to bring the brothers together, or is it going to alienate them even further? And again, that comment that Bookworm made, Bookworm 2, at the end of her most recent video, worth going and looking at that, and I'll be reading on it. outcome card. Is it going to bring them closer together? Is it going to alienate them more? I would say it is going to alienate them even more with the Seven of Rods, which is the Seven of Wands. It's a defense card, having to defend yourself against attack, against accusations. The attack and the accusations are all on this side. The insights and the realizations are all on this side. Somebody is going to have to defend himself, and it's going to be Prince Harry is going to have to defend the decisions that he has made here with the Two of Pentacles that have led to all of this conflict. There's the lies, the confusion, the doubt, the trickery, the mystery, the deception, all of that he is going to have to defend, and it's going to be very, very, very difficult for him. This is not a card of closeness and reconciliation at all. It's a card of somebody having to stand his ground and justify what he did, and he is going to have to do it, and it is going to be difficult, and it is going to be lonely, and it is going to be a very hard road, path that he has made for himself, path that he has chosen, and one that we are all watching from the sidelines. That's your Father's Day reading, and have a wonderful day, and lots of love to all of you, and I will see you on the next reading.